The arrival of trains in the West marked the beginning of the Wild West era. These locomotives brought prosperity and symbolized a better future, creating the American dream. Many Civil War veterans sought out this fresh start by starting up a new life in the West. James P. Ronda, Bernard Professor studying Western American history, suggests that the trains and tracks beyond Chicago and St. Louis represent progress, prosperity, and the promise of a better future. Nevertheless, the undeniable and perhaps even more irresistible power for change can be attributed to the development of these railroads. The railroads connected the frontier to major cities in the late 19th century and served as the primary source of transportation for those seeking fortune and adventure, bringing thousands in search for a new start in the West. As the West grew, the concept of manifest destiny had also grown and captured the hearts of many. This concept fueled the Western migration, reshaping the West. One who inspired many with this idea was John Gast, a painter, who sought out to inform people of this idea through his captivating artwork. His painting captures the dream of Western expansion and conquest. In the center of the painting, America stands prominently, symbolized as an angel, surrounded by people aiding her journey across the country. A closer look reveals that civilization and technology of the East throughout the right side of the painting, moving towards the left side of the painting, symbolizing the progress of moving western. This idea of manifest destiny ultimately fueled one of the main reasons why so many people wanted to join the wave of Western migration in search of a better life. With the West expanding, a cattle boom swept the plains as cowboys herded massive herds to the railroad hubs for shipment to the hungry markets in the East. This booming cattle industry not only provided jobs, but also contributed to the economic growth of the region. It was one of the most successful businesses during the early days of the Western frontier. The sudden increase in population in the West led to many to rely on these cattle ranchers as their primary source of food, prompting numerous individuals to become farmers and raise cattle due to the high demand for food. Samuel Western, a historian known for his studies of the old Western economy, states that the main factor behind this boom was a combination of the Civil War, demographic changes, and technological advancements. This shows that because of the shifting demographics, meaning the thousands of people moving out western, the foundation of the cattle boom was set into play, growing the population and developing the frontier dramatically. However, with this booming economy, the Wild West also faced numerous challenges. Although not as wild as in many of the Hollywood productions / other mediums of entertainment, there were still many examples of lawlessness and chaos that prevailed in many towns, as outlaws and renegades took advantage of this lack of effective law enforcement. This area witnessed the rise of legendary figures such as Billy the Kid and Jesse James, who gained notoriety through their exploits. The absence of proper law enforcement can be attributed to the sudden influx of population in the West. In major gold mining sites, for instance, miners would stake claims, engage in disorderly conduct, and wreak havoc in the pursuit of wealth. Due to the scarcity of law enforcement officers, most of them would escape punishment for their actions. But change was on the horizon. The Wild West met its match with the application of a seemingly simple invention, the barbed wire. This simple yet revolutionary fencing material transformed the dynamics of land ownership and control. The barbed wire marked the end of the open-range farming and played a significant role in civilizing the western frontier. Barbed wire gained widespread popularity due to its affordability and accessibility. Prior to its introduction, private land was difficult to regulate, with ranchers encroaching on others' territories. Wood fences were too costly, and rock walls were impossible to create due to the lack of rocks in the plains. Unfortunately, the invention of barbed wire also had a devastating impact on the Native American population, as it restricted their access to and use of their lands, further contributing to their decline in the West. Lastly, the train once again played a pivotal role in the West as it became fenced off and opportunities for free land diminished. The train symbolized modernization, bridging the remote West with the more developed parts of the nation. The expansion of rail networks brought rapid economic growth and urbanization that transformed the Wild West into that settled and interconnected region that we recognize today. The Library of Congress states that the railroad opened the way for the settlement of the West, provided new economic opportunities, stimulated the development of towns and communities, and generally tied the country together. Through both the invention of the barbed wire and the more railways that were put into place, the wild air of the Wild West died. as it had become more modernized and caught up to the development of the East. The Wild West was a land of opportunity, adventure, and challenges, shaped by the arrival of trains, the concept of manifest destiny, the cattle boom, lawlessness, and the application of the barbed wire. These events marked significant milestones in the transformation of the West, reflecting America's enduring spirit of innovation and modernization. The Wild West became a powerful symbol of the ever-changing frontier, embodying the pursuit of dreams and the untamed wild spirit of the nation.